Here we're asked to solve this inequality. The nice thing about this is that it's already in factored form. So let's find the critical values. The critical values are simply the zeros. So using the zero property, what will make all these factors equal to 0 here? X by inspection could be -1. That's called a double root. X could be 2. Or X could be -5. So here we get 3 critical values. There's 3 X values that will make that 0. Okay, now let's make a sign chart. Okay, so notice we had a inclusive inequality. We have the equal there. So that tells me I'm going to use a closed dot. I'm going to use a closed dot at -1, 2, and -5 because we're going to include those in the solution set. Now let's test each of these intervals to see if the result is positive or negative. So let's say x equals 5. Notice the first factor is being squared, so that's always going to be positive no matter what. 5 minus 2 is positive, and 5 plus 5 is positive. So when you multiply 3 positive numbers together, the result's going to be positive. Okay, let's test a value in this interval, say 0. Again, anything squared is positive. 0 minus 2 is negative. 0 plus 5 is positive. Okay, so in that interval we have negative results. Okay, choose a test value in this interval, say -3. Positive. -3 minus 2 is negative. -3 plus 5 is positive. Okay, so when you multiply those together, you get negative. This is a good example to show that it doesn't always alternate. Let's choose a test value, say -7 here. Squared is positive. -7 minus 2 is negative. And -7 plus 5 is negative. Okay, 2 negatives when we multiply is positive, so the result there is positive. Okay, so here's the sign chart. Now let's use that to answer the question. The question is, when is this expression less than or equal to 0? When is it negative? So using the sign chart, I'm going to shade in all the x values that yield a negative result. Now since that -1 is included, that's where it actually equals 0. I'm going to shade that in purple. Okay, so the actual interval, using interval notation, we use square brackets. For the answer here is from -5 all the way to 2 inclusive, including -1 in there. So this is the interval for all the x values that'll solve that original inequality.